And the grind continues. When you What you start to realize is the grind is very monotonous, and it's just the same shit different day. And obviously I'm at that stage where I'm job hunting whilst working at a bar job. And I've actually gotten an interview this week. So yesterday I had an interview with ME+EM. So it's a women's luxury brand. They have stores across London and some in the UK, the USA. I would say it's a large established fashion brand. They have 180 employees, and that role was for an assistant garment tech. So during the interview, I got to learn more about the company. I did a light research on the company. They've been around for 10 to 15 years, and the founder still works there and is in every single day and is pretty much very hands-on with the day-to-day goings of the business. And a lot of their looks and product offering, although it's just women's wear, it aligns a lot with my taste. So even like the how I design, it's very sort of similar. So I was like, yeah, this is a perfect place to be in and then grow within an established environment. So fingers crossed I can lock this assistant garment role. So basically the role is a entry level, which is perfect for me because like I've previously said, and all the other entries that I've done, that I either wanted to do intern or assistant because I wanted to start from the very bottom and then work my way up, because that way then I'll be able to cover everything, and not just like skip steps and whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited. The interview went really well. The two people that interviewed me seemed very knowledgeable and great people to work with. And I just made sure that I was just, me. I just talked the way I would talk, obviously more in a formal setting. But in terms of like my experience, what I've done, what I'm doing, I just told them as if it was like, one of these entries and I'm just speaking my mind out. But yeah, they were very intrigued about like my unorthodox journey into fashion, that huge jump that I did from architecture to fashion. And the funny thing is, when I mentioned that I had a background in architecture, the head of technical, so there's two people that interviewed me. One was a garment technologist, and one was head of technical. And the head of technical was saying every time she sort of described what her role was, it was sort of an architect, but for clothing. Basically, a garment technologist, what they do is they translate the designs that the fashion designers do and make sure it can be constructed, in real life. So similar to how architecture works, you have the architectural designer, and then you also have an architectural technologist. And the architectural technologist is more sort of in line with how construction works and whatnot before it's passed on to the engineers so that it can be constructed. But yes, it's a how what I found out is it's very similar, like the structure of how they operate. Because when I asked how many. Oh no, they mentioned that they have 13 people in their department, so the garment tech only. And from what I've noticed is that's quite a big team for a garment technician department. And I got to learn more about the role, the career path. Like I said, or probably what I've documented through the entries, that I didn't want a design role when applying to these established brands, because I already do enough of that for my own brand, and I wanted to be more close to the garments, and the roles that allow me to be more close to garments are, yeah, garment technologist or a product developer, and just being able to know how things fit, how things are constructed, and what makes these pieces the way they are when fit on a body, when on the shelves and whatnot. But yeah, it was interesting. I also asked them about what makes a great candidate, and the way they described it was basically along the lines of what I was saying during the interview, because they asked me questions about, it was very generic, like the questions that they had. It was like, oh, how do you work in this type of environment, and then what do you think is your strengths, weaknesses, yada yada yada. But I made sure that I took a good account of how I'm actually like within a corporate environment, working in a team and whatnot. But yeah, I was like, in my mind when they were describing it, I was like, yeah, man, that sounds like me, man. And they were heavy on saying that this role is entry level, and it's a mix of admin and hands-on work. And during the interview, I talked about being heavy on the hands-on. Well, at least recently, my experiences are very hands-on. But good thing with the architecture stuff, the 1 year in the industry, I was able to sort of hold on, sort of get across that. Yeah, I know how to work within a corporate environment, and just, have that admin task stuff, and not always like being hands-on with the products or whatever. But yeah, I hope I get this one, because it would be fucking perfect. Like, I would have manifested this shit hard. Because unlike the Ralph Lauren, that one I had to like sort of like force myself into, like, to seem like I really wanted that role. Because it was like, it was for a internship role for, yeah, visual branding, visual merchandising thing. And that's not exactly what I want. But this assistant garment tech role, it's actually a role that I would want to do. So hopefully I communicated that towards them, and then that I'm cool with being, entry level and then building my way up. Because I'm sure they probably saw on my CV that I graduated in 2019. So obviously I'm more of a mature professional. And obviously entry level roles, like assistant roles, that's usually for those who may not have much experience in the industry. And that's kind of like me in a weird way. Even though I had like the Kozia Boa, my own brand, and the Robert Jesse experiences, those weren't corporate and established spaces. They were more smaller scale and very hands-on, which is good in a way that I could learn a lot and then wear multiple hats. But within a corporate structure, they have ways of doing things, and you get to work in a team that then contributes to the overall like business, how the business moves and whatnot. And yeah, man, I just can't wait to start. You know, like I'll hear back from them next in a week's time if I do get the role. But if not, you know, there is no biggie because I'm only what's mine will be mine. You know, so I'm not gonna lose sleep on if I didn't get a job. You know, because even for the Ralph Lauren stuff, it would have been nice if I got it, but no biggie. Like in hindsight, it wasn't the job description or job role that would have best suited with what I was actually aiming to go for. But this one aligns with me and where I want to position myself a lot more. And out of all the interviews I've had, so just looking back, I've had an interview for a tech sales role for a fashion startup. And the tech sales stuff, yeah, nah, it's more like cold calling and all of that stuff. That's and more salesy. That's not really like my thing. That's why there was a lot of misalignment there during that interview a couple months back. And then the second one is yeah, the Ralph Lauren. Yeah, again, there was a lot of misalignment with that because it was it didn't align with sort of the experiences I've had so far. But this one, the ME+EM, it aligns, man. It aligns with what I've done already. It may not have been in a formally, you know, corporate structure, but I've touched on the skill sets and job descriptions that they've talked about during the interview. And they were very, what do you call, how do you say it, man? They were very adamant on saying that it's an entry level role and then they don't expect the candidate to know everything because that role is supposed to you're supposed to learn on the job. And on my in my mind I'm like perfect because that's what I want, man. I want to learn on the job and just build my foundations up and then be surrounded by those people with experience. You know, I want to be the one in the room that you know appears like the stupid one, you know, like I don't know much, because I want to be surrounded by the ones that has all the knowledge, because then that means I'll just soak everything in, you know. There's that saying, if everyone around you is I'm butchering the how this saying is said, but if you're in a room and you're the best one, then you're in the wrong room. So I want to be in a room where I'm the worst one so I can fucking level up, you know. And this would be the case if it's meant to be and I land it, boom. Because it's a luxury women's wear brand and it's good for me to really get an experience on what makes a luxury brand, you know. And for me, I find women's wear more interesting anyways. I mean, look behind me, man. There's a whole bunch of women's wear design that I did for the future for Galanachi. But yeah. Also, they mentioned that if they do get back to me, there would be like a half day trial where I would go to their head office out in White City, so towards, you know, Shepherd's Bush near Westfield, and I would spend half a day just to gauge if I like working with them and if I like the company, and obviously vice versa as well if they like working with me. And yeah, man, I'm actually mad excited, man, because I can feel it, man. Like I already knew that things will fall into place eventually, but now that I'm seeing like the crumbs getting closer and closer to the main, you know, piece of cake, I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Like I'm nearly 30, you know, and most people by the time they're 30, they're probably burnt out and fucking, just drained out of like working a 9 to 5, you know? Those are that went to that path, the 9 to 5 route. Like they're probably burnt out shit. They can't wait to, retire or fucking try some, I don't maybe not even try something new. They're so comfortable that they won't take risks. But me, I took risks right from the beginning to the point where I'm still taking risks now. But I'm at that point where, yeah, man, I know my direction. I know. God damn it. Yeah, the fucking, my, what do you call it? My camera. Sorry, my storage ran out, man. So I had to delete some videos. But yeah, we're back. What the fuck what was I talking about? I already forgot, man. God damn it. But yeah, no, I think I mentioned about like manifesting this role. Hopefully I land it. But if not, I'm still continuously applying to jobs in established fashion brands. So it's only a matter of time until I lock something in. But yeah, there's that. And also I got paid yesterday. Yeah, I got paid yesterday for the bar job. Man, I swear to God, I ain't been paid. I haven't had like a monthly regular income in since fucking 2020, man. I'm telling you. So I was fucking grateful when I got paid, man. Even though it wasn't as much as what I would get back when I was in architecture. But I'm starting from the bottom, so I'm cool with it, But yeah, man, it's grind time, man. It's grind time. Once I get an assistant garment tech role, I'm still gonna keep the bar job, but I'm gonna be working on Saturdays only so that I can, get that extra day in. And also I can keep the perks, whatever. Because that working at the bar, it has me I get access to multiple companies under their umbrella and have a good discount. And they have cool perks too. But yeah, I'm also getting a lot of not a lot, sorry. There was one potential client that was referred to me wanting to do some shoe design. Yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. I've been designing shoes for Gallinacci, or it could even be for Pioneers of Greatness. But right now, I had the idea in my mind and I had to capture it ASAP. Like, I know that it will take. Actually, it depends. It depends on how I am with how I manage my finances. Once I start, working an assistant role and all of that, and then I've paid off my debt and whatnot. But the idea is capture the ideas by 3D designing them, developing them, and then when I am ready or when I'm within a better financial means to set aside money to start developing these shoe designs and sampling them, then boom, I swear down, I will have everything there ready. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And also, it's funny because I've been hustling so hard that I forgot that I sent out some emails regarding Pioneers of Greatness and collaborating with established boxing sort of companies. And one of them was Matchroom. They actually got back to me. So I sent an email back in January, February, March, April, May, June. So almost three months, they replied back to me. They like the idea of what I'm doing with Pioneers of Greatness. And we're going to schedule a call next week to see how we can collaborate and even get one of the guys that I emailed. So he's like the either head of social or community engagement which is perfect, is what I want to be building with Pioneers of Greatness, is the community aspect. And if I can hijack Matchroom, Matchroom's community of, and obviously the boxing community within the UK, London, then boom, perfect. That's a great way for me to build up Pioneers of Greatness. So I'll see how that goes once I've sorted out a time and day. Because I literally got that email today. Like before I started recording, I looked at my email. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh shit, forgot I even sent this out because it's been like almost 3 months, and I'm grateful that he even bothered to reply, because it's been 3 months, almost 3 months. But yeah, I'm excited, man. So that's another thing to look forward to. See, man, I with these things, yeah, it just takes patience, man. As long as you're consistent with putting out shit and building brick by brick, before you know it, yeah, there's gonna be a period in my journey where it's gonna feel like an overnight success because everything is just gonna fucking like fall down from the sky all at once, and I wouldn't even know how to fucking juggle it. But until then, I'm just gonna keep my head down, grind, document, and just be fucking unfiltered with the journey, the ups and the downs, and just really documenting what it's like to navigate a career path within fashion, what it's like to build a brand, what it's like to manage all these things and, stay sane and whatever. But yeah, man, I'm happy, man. And when there's that saying in boxing, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. I'm a dangerous fighter, man. Like there's no quitting me, man. I'm gonna make sure I do what I say and then mean what I say. And so far, ever since I started my journey in 2020, I keep saying 2020 because that's when I decided, yeah, I'm quitting architecture and this is what I'm gonna do. So that's the time where, I fully took control of where my future is heading with full intentions and purpose. But yeah, is there anything else that I might have missed out this week? What happened this week? Well, yeah, I'm still shadowing at Robert Jesse. Actually, yesterday I had the interview at 1 p.m. and that obviously went up until 2 p.m. And then right after that interview, I went straight to Robert Jesse to shadow, and then I finished around 7 p.m. Usually, when I'm shadowing on Thursday, I start at 12, so I'm there. Sorry, 12:30, so I'm there before 12:30, and then I would finish around 6:30. So a good 6 hours, shadowing. But yesterday I was like, yeah, I can't afford to miss shadowing just because I had the interview, especially when I had like such little sleep because I was too excited for the interview. Yes, Cookie. Yes. Yeah, that's Cookie, man. She's trying to get some food. But I already fed her lunch, so she acts like she ain't ate or she's never eaten in her whole life. But yeah, I'm just steady building my skill set, man. And I'm gonna be actually I already have the stuff saved in my Amazon basket, but I'm just waiting. What am I waiting on? Yeah, what am I waiting on? I could just go and buy it now. Yeah, you know what? Actually, no, yeah, I'm waiting on the end of the month before purchasing it. But yeah, no, I bought some, I not bought some. I got some equipment ready in my Amazon basket. So basically the things I'm using at Robert Jesse, so like the set squares, the sort of magnet dish for the pins, the fabric shears. What else is there? some calico fabric to do the prototyping on, and some pattern making paper. Got all those lined up because I want to start developing for Pioneers of Greatness and start implementing what I've learned at Robert Jesse onto my own shit, you know? I mean, I've already been doing that the past couple of months, but it was like through 3D Clo. But now I want to get my hands dirty and really work on some fabrics, at least calico fabric. So calico fabric is basically just, you know, the thing that you use to get the shape, structure, and the scale of your design. And that's what I'm going to be doing once I've placed that order. And yeah, that's pretty much for this week on the top of my head. But yeah, man, I'm gonna just keep grinding, man, honestly. Like, it's slowly getting there, man. Slowly getting there. And I just can't wait, man. And I'm here documenting the journey. So if you're here watching it from the very beginning, I appreciate you, because we're gonna go up, and you guys would have the pleasure to see the journey before, you know, I pop into stardom. Nah, I'm kidding, man. I'm trying. When I do pop, you know, I'm gonna be like Kendrick Lamar. I'll just disappear, and I'll only show up when things are ready. But yeah, that's it from me, man. I'm out. Peace.